It was dark outside, and the sky was covered in thick clouds. Jack was driving down an empty road, winding through abandoned towns. His car was barely running, its engine groaning, as if begging to stop. But Jack couldn't. He had to reach the city before dawn. Suddenly, an old gas station appeared ahead. No one was around, but the flickering light inside the small shop seemed to beckon him. Jack pulled over and stepped out with a heavy sigh. The silence around him felt like a heavy blanket, and each of his steps echoed in the emptiness. The gas station door creaked as he opened it. Inside, it looked just like any other rural convenience store. Shelves of chips, racks of soda, and an old cash register. But something was off. Jack felt a chill crawling under his skin. "Anyone here?" he called out. But the only answer was the rustling of snack bags. He walked up to the counter, where no one was present, but a set of keys lay there. Strange, Jack thought. Those kinds of keys usually unlock storage rooms or staff-only areas. His eyes were drawn to a small door in the corner that he hadn't noticed before. Something deep inside urged him to open it. Unable to resist, he slid the key into the lock and quietly turned it. The door creaked open, revealing a long, narrow hallway that stretched into the darkness. Jack stepped in, immediately feeling the freezing cold seeping into his bones. The hallway seemed far too long for such a small gas station, but Jack kept walking, despite the growing sense of unease. Suddenly, he heard a faint rustling ahead, as if someone unseen was moving in the darkness. Jack froze, listening closely. Footsteps. They were getting closer, but he saw no one. Suddenly, the hallway was dimly lit, and Jack noticed that the walls were lined with photographs. Each one was similar. People caught in the last moments of their lives, their faces twisted in terror. And in one of the photographs, Jack saw himself that he froze, his heart pounding in his chest. It was him, standing right there in the hallway, with the same terrified expression on his face. This can't be real, Jack thought, taking a step back. How did this photo get here? Suddenly, the light flickered and went out. Jack was plunged into pitch darkness. His breathing quickened, and his skin prickled with goosebumps. There wasn't a sound, but he could feel someone or something watching him. But he reached out, trying to find the wall to guide him back, but his fingers touched something cold and sticky. When the light suddenly blinked back on, Jack saw that his hand was covered in blood. The walls, which had been clean moments ago, were now smeared with dark red stains. The footsteps echoed again, but now they were right behind him. Jack spun around, but the hallway was empty. Panic gripped him, his thoughts racing. He had to find a way out. Now he rushed back toward the door he had entered through, but the hallway had stretched even longer. Each step felt like it took forever, and the door, once so close, now seemed impossibly far away. The footsteps behind him grew louder and louder. "Damn it!" Jack muttered under his breath and started running, almost sprinting, but it felt like he wasn't moving at all. When he finally reached the door, his fingers clutched the handle desperately, but it wouldn't budge. In a panic, Jack yanked and pounded on the door, but it stayed locked. He turned around, knowing time was running out, and then he saw a figure, standing at the far end of the hallway, slowly moving toward him. It looked like a person or something that once resembled a person, but its face, there was no face, just a smooth, featureless surface, with faint outlines where its features should have been. Jack felt ice in his veins. The figure raised a hand, pointing directly at him. "It's you?" a voice whispered, echoing inside his head. The figure kept coming closer, while Jack pounded harder on the door. And just when it was only a few steps away, the door suddenly flew open. Jack stumbled into the store, slamming the door shut behind him. He was breathing heavily, his heart pounding in his chest. The store was quiet and empty again, as if nothing had happened. But when Jack looked up, he saw that the photographs from the hallway now covered the walls of the gas station. And in every one of them, it was him, in different poses, in different places, and in each photo, his face was twisted in absolute terror.